So we're going to get started on Myriad presentation. This is a strategy and conceptual creative that we want them to consider for their 2019 strategy. So ideally, we'd love to speak to agencies, and we want to share new ideas that will drive awareness and demand through disruptive, creative marketing techniques.
If we can let
And so what you told us and what we found to be really striking and stood out to us is that Myriad is a pioneering driver of ad innovation that provides opportunities for clients to enable next level engagement. Mm-hmm. And Myriad is disrupting the ad agency in so many ways, and in so many ways that we believe advertisers can jump on different opportunities. So ideally, getting ad agencies to adopt Myriad into their media plans is essentially the goal that we want. And just to get into this, we've seen that there is a hardship in gaining viewership. And this happens when we're trying to speak to the average person. And we find that the attention span of your average person is shrinking more and more every day. So how do you stand out? How does your brand stand out in this overly saturated, technologically advanced world? And agencies, whether they're equipped or not, need to adapt to specific technologies that are going to help them. And getting in touch with their technology partners is a real opportunity, because what we're finding is that there's a specific agency mindset. It's that they feel that they know everything, but they don't know what they'd like to know. And what they'd like to know is how to place their brand or themselves in an avenue that's going to set them apart from their competitors, but also gain the viewership that they're hoping to attain. And this is why we believe Myriad offers precision that leads to productivity. And it's, in fact, the preciseness and the fast, easy, plan to buy, your ability to reach viewers when they're emotionally engaged at their highest point, and the fact that ads cannot be skipped. They're integrated. It's within the context of the channel, and there are ways that we can leverage this through our creative. And these are some concepts.
Okay, right before you hit the concepts, I think that you need to really work on the storytelling portion of the strategy. Mm-hmm. So this can come across as it helps better not to now the creative. You know what I mean? Like, try to within what you're saying. That I'm guessing Serena already validated most of your insight, the RTVs and everything. Mm-hmm. Did she already gave that stamp? Yeah. Right? Yeah. So, in my opinion, just build off a little bit. You know, don't be so cold, like straight fact, like
Yeah, like I just wanted to get through. Yeah.
I understand, but at the same time, yes, it's still taking too much time. I think that it needs to be more
quick.
It's not quick. I think the word is single-minded thoughts, well articulated in terms of strategy, storytelling. Okay. You need to say your data, your research, but say it in a way that it doesn't sound like a bullet, line. It's like, for example, when you're doing, go back on the challenge. Yeah, it's advertising agency to open your intermediate plans, but it's advertising agency, but that can be a gift of when you have time of saying it's media agencies, ad agencies, everybody, you, me, small owners, etc. You know what I mean? Great. Okay, concept one. Who starts?
Okay. Alrighty, so the way that we try to, because like in our heads we thought this was going to be a little bit more like free-flowing ideas, and you would kind of steer us in the direction that you thought was great. So what we did initially would be like a media kit. So this would be what Myriad would present to agencies as like a point of proof of concept and a case study. So we were thinking
case study approach.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
So when they present to an agency, they have to have a pitch deck and they have to show them how this works.
Okay, like the real how it works.
Exactly. On their website, they have.
You have to close it. If not, it's gonna keep sounding.
Yeah. I'm trying to close it.
Yeah. Don't touch it. Thank you. Okay.
So I'm sorry. On their website, I noticed that they had some case studies, and a lot of them are a little bit antiquated. So like you can't really understand what they're selling.
What do you mean by antiquated?
Like the things that they're using. I mean, here, look, I should.
Like elaborate.
High level.
I just want
yeah.
to elaborate on that word because as storytelling, what I mean is, imagine the CEO, the guy that you guys didn't show up to the first meeting as an agency, are gonna tell him, hey, by the way, I not only didn't show up, I'm telling you that this.
I would
whatever.
I'm talking to you, so I would never.
I know, but still keep in mind that as you pitch your concept, it needs to sound that you're thinking that be mindful of the audience that they also don't get offended with the product. You know what I mean? So as a high level, I know that it's not a concept yet, but try to, for example, okay, case study approach, media kit. You're all of a sudden like, look, okay. Talk to me about it. I don't want to see a slide now.
Sure. Okay. So we had a hard time understanding what Marriott was.
Okay.
Even after being briefed, and I mean, we were present in their presentation, and it still didn't quite understand. The information was dense, and I imagine as a ad agency, when they're going on the website, they don't understand.
Agreed.
The case studies that they had were not something that any layman would understand. So we tried to correct the problem.
Okay.
So this would be one of the initiatives that we can possibly do. So we were thinking of doing something like Michelin tires. We would be putting them in Marvel movies specifically, and we didn't include it, but like, so if you can imagine all the bad guys in a lot of these Marvel movies, they tend to get away from the cops and they evade the cops. We found an insight that most car chases end up
more car chases, like 95% of the car chases end up in the criminal being caught. Like only 5% actually are the ones that get away. So we tackle on that insight to showcase that Michelin tires were the ones that were used by the criminals that were able to flew away from the cops.
So the case study approach would be effective here because not only it would be used in like big Marvel movies, which would allow the company to be a little bit more recognized, but it's a fun approach that also gives brand recognition to Michelin. That's usually like a background product. But yeah, that would be like our first idea. And we were also thinking about in terms of placement, Grand Theft Auto. So if the user in the game saw ads that were more...
I understand your idea.
Yeah.
You have more concepts?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, how many concepts you're bringing to this short?
Five.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go place through that
Sure.
so it's like easier.
So, sorry.
So the second one's called a window of opportunity. So how we picture or how we understand that Myriad, it's innovative and it's making something new is because...
I love that, Ella, by the way, don't get me wrong, I just want to hear all of the concepts and give the feedback.
Okay.
Cool.
Is that there's right now a lot of dead space.
Yes.
We can call it like that. That people are watching something, there's a lot of eyeballs in something right now. For example, people watching movies, watching TV series, that is now a dead space, and Myriad is bringing that opportunity to ad agencies to make it in a way that a precision opportunity in which they can make ads and money out of it. So that's our window of opportunity. We call it under that concept. We call it your favorite show has a vacancy. So it's like we're trying to sell the idea that all this dead space now is being able to make profit out of it, and for agencies it's a great opportunity for them to tackle into this new innovative technology. So it's basically that.
So, and
and that was like kind of one of our examples, bringing the Inception movie, which is like the information into the information and the information, like it's an infinite kind of thing that goes on and on and on. Mm-hmm.
We broke this up into, again, traditional ads. So this is what you would see either like on like a print ad. So we didn't know like what direction, but we did want to like separate it that way.
Okay, so...
Or it could also be digital.
Okay.
And the next one, sorry.
Any insight on this one that you want to come across?
Well, honestly, like, okay, for the vacancy, have you seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
We noticed that, like, Eggos, for instance, was their price and like the website was visited more frequent, like 33% more frequently during the time that the show was aired, and it was a little bit more than product placement. So,
I love that. Let's keep that thought. I love this. Okay. Next
Maybe
concept.
The Viagra.
This one.
oh yeah.
Okay.
By the way,
No,
5 seconds.
and that's fine. Just keep
Oh,
that
okay.
thought so we can hear the third concept, and now you're gonna understand why. Okay.
So we're also thinking of having it done on digital platforms right now because our consumers, like even on Instagram, we have a little bit more control as to what type of ads we're waiting to see. Like we can even choose like, is this relevant? Is it not? We're tired of seeing it. So we're thinking of still creating that same environment for the consumer. So add it your way so you can choose your own adventure through Facebook games and game ads. So it's kind of like still, you're not taking anything away from the consumer, you're still having them in the same environment.
Mm-hmm.
But also the ads would be contingent on your Facebook data that's collected or the things that you like on in your online presence. So that's how the ads are precisely integrated for what you're watching, what you're playing, what you're doing, but yet you have the option to choose.
And as far as the insight goes, like that was pulled directly from like my Facebook feed. And we see that people are having an issue like staying on an ad because either they don't think it's relevant or they simply don't care.
Okay. All right. So
Oh, wait.
those are
sorry.
all the concepts.
No, sorry.
Okay.
Last one. Okay. So the last one would be an activation. So again, like we're thinking about getting Marriott into the agency and how we can do so, like showing them, not so much telling them about Marriott. So when Marriott presents a pitch deck, as I imagine that they do, we would put the clients that particular agency has worked with within the deck and kind of have them throughout without having it be very obvious. So it would be a way of showing them how Marriott works without actually pointing out to them, like, it's in here, you're being marketed to. So that's for that. And our last thing, these are just thought starters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So like where you could live, like with real estate and staged homes, smart boards in schools, tourism, and flight entertainment.
From these ones, which one is your like top three? Because it's like
The Airbnb option, making basically travel guides installed to each Airbnb host, and having different brands propose like what to do on a night out, having what restaurant to visit,
Yeah, like,
kind of inserting themselves in real estate or the tourism aspect of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
everything cool. Man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Ron.
so much. Appreciate it.
Square back.
Okay, I'll just leave everything as is and
Just leave it as is. Just push stop and
okay, great, thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
And then and then we have some other rideshare stuff.
Okay, so I think that just to give you guys the feedback and have the time so you guys can kind of bounce ideas with me and keep working. I think that you guys are not yet there in a way of concepts. I think that you're still coming up with executions that I think that maybe has a concept, like maybe it's that mental gymnastic of maybe going backward to the strategy that she's posing, right? So let's go to your strategy first, because maybe it's part of the storytelling that is what's missing, because that's why I love what you're saying. All of that data that you guys were talking, that's all part of the storytelling of your concept. Is even if you don't believe it, the rationale is not just like a blurb there. It's like one state, like she's doing what when Serena is telling all the teams, have like headlines there. Same thing with the creative. Set it up, give a headline, do a data like an insight check, and then boom, and people behind it, and then all of a sudden boom, and they live in these and these.
in the second round, you'll see more of that for sure. We weren't like, we
I
didn't know that.
understand.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want executions, but you still came up with executions. What
Yeah.
I want is the most important portion of it is the storytelling portion that leads me to all of this. I'm not saying that it's not great. I think it's great, and I think it's well articulated as I ask you, and I think you guys have your data right. Or it's just a matter of pose it as like this is a concept. I don't see a concept in any of those.
Yeah.
Most of them are just the execution of it. The concept is more about, okay, we saw that when people, the Stranger Things happen, the ego happened. based on this insight, we thought that similar to what we're posing in the strategy, paying off to this is this concept, boom, and then how would this pay off in X, Y, or Z? But what happens in Cannes for this? Like all the Airbnb, I think on Airbnb, like, don't think on doing that. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do something on Airbnb because it's like the check because everyone does something cool because it's Airbnb. Like, okay, so the Van Gogh Airbnb. Oh yeah, cool, but there's plenty of a million things you can do at Cannes that if you do a research of what's the role of a creative that goes to Cannes there to receive a lion or to compete as a young creative and as experience of maybe for you guys it's like if your agency won the pitch, it's like when you're winning the young lions, it's kind of the same thing. You didn't win the lion, but you did your idea was in Cannes. Mm-hmm. Everybody in a way maybe can see it or not, but it's like you're gonna get a stab at something that was on Cannes. Who says that? Mm-hmm. Whenever you are starting to work in your portfolio. So my concept idea is more about the storytelling of those. I understand what you're going to execution because that's how you see like maybe the power of because it's the Airbnb that is the power. No, it's not. Try to make it from a concept standpoint, be the soul of it, the core of the idea needs to drive the insight that you're coming, okay, the egos now are more, the price is crazy now because everybody's buying it.
For that, one of the things I was thinking is like, how back in the day, they would say soda ads would run for like 1 or 2 seconds of like a picture of soda in between movie theaters, so it would up the sales. So basically it goes back to this, integrating this into right in front of your face and doing it subtle. But it's like honing in like, okay, what are the top touristy things going on there? Maybe it's that there's a Hershey's factory, or maybe there's this in the area. And
I think all of those concepts, all of the ones that I heard are valid in terms of an execution as valid executions. From a concept, round 1, I'm not gonna fail you because you didn't have a concept. What I'm saying, take this time between now and round 2. I'm available, Serene is available, to hone into the strategy maybe better in a way that maybe you infuse as part of your storytelling on those executions as a concept, as you in the other classes that maybe you've seen with me that you're crunching the data, saying something clever, romance the people about your idea, and then your idea is almost like, oh, I was almost thinking about it, it's my idea now. Almost like make people feel that passion for your work in a way that it's like, it's not like, well, the creative is this, it's just like an Airbnb thing, but it's more like, you know that at Camp.
Hey, I would love to know about the 750.
I know we started late because technology things.
Okay.
Who can keep the time? I know that you kind of did that.
Yeah, I can keep the time if you want.
Okay, so they're almost done. They're just receiving my feedback. They're gonna keep working as the rest of the team needs to. Okay, so just bring right now. If you guys can keep working, make your executions the top 5 from all the things that you presented. Just take a step back and think about the concept. Just the concept. I'm not saying that they're not valid.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. I don't think I'm getting what I need from you because for us, we needed to have a little bit of focus, which direction we went.
Correct.
So we threw everything at you in hopes that you would tell us, I like this direction. One? Exactly.
Okay, so
and also
since
like
you don't
what
have a
medium.
concept, that's what I mean. Okay, let's do this. Let's go slide by slide so I can give you a concept that maybe the ones that I like the most. In terms of an execution that I think that maybe has a concept.
All of these are technically not executions. They're supposed to be larger overarching ideas. But
in
this is
one,
to
for
show
example,
you.
This one, the case story approach that you call, it doesn't comes across as the great idea you guys have in your hand, for example. This is a great concept that you guys can come across as this is how you hijack the system. Yeah. You know what I mean? You are going to be as clever as my technology is, right? As clever as my technology is, how smooth it is to put a placement, I'm gonna hijack the gaming world. Boom. That's a concept. You know what I mean? That's exactly the exercise I need you guys to do in each execution. That's why I think it's more of it doesn't become, I don't want to come across as semantic. What I wanted to come across is that the storytelling portion is important for the concept because what I want you guys is to bake it as something that sounds as, instead of it's a sandwich, it's how the guys sell it to you in the restaurant, right?
I 100% agree. I think the way in which you deliver something is what's going to sell your
I do love this
but
one.
We're not there yet.
No, of course
Okay.
not. I do love this one. Then this one, I think is more about the inception portion of it that I kind of like, but I think that still is just the gimmick of the blue, 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 blue. Maybe if there's something that I'm not sure about the window of opportunity. Your favorite show has a vacancy. Like I do like that to connect it with maybe the idea of the Airbnb or something. But conceptually, this one seems like I don't know if me as an agency, right, my creative director, I see this in my creative director board from my team. I see this like inspiration board of cool shit in social media, right? Like these kind of gifs and things, and that's part of the execution. But what's the concept behind that inception? Why you justify that with a concept as we did with the first one? Cool. It's not that I don't like it. It's this one is very far away from this. Then the digital platform, I did your way, same thing. In this one, I do like the choose your own adventure kind of factor. Clever, but at the same time, because it pays off your strategy. Is it good enough to have a concept? I don't see it yet. It doesn't have a concept.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? The other ones are closer to that.
Okay.
Doesn't mean that this one doesn't. This one I do love in a way that maybe this is more like the even one of the gun control. Do you remember the gun control brief that I gave? Show that to her as a planner, like how that tackled the awareness, like there are signs that people maybe are just missing out, that they're happening there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, show that to her in a way that maybe that's a way of how, in a way of storytelling, they infuse the innovation component.
Oh, okay. No, I know what
You
you're
know what
talking
I mean?
about. I get what you're saying.
So it's like in the storytelling comes across as the innovation
So at the end
inside.
of it, it makes
You know what I
sense.
mean? Like
That's-
always try to find. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to do the mental gymnastics of each one of those ones, but for my round one, I need to give you the evaluation. I will, of course, I'm not going to give you a grade right now. You know what I mean? That's why it's like a keep going, so I can go with the next team. You guys can come back. I'm going to be available from here until the next one that you guys need to deliver. The checkpoint is going to be for us
Wednesday.
after this class to ask me. I'm down. Right now, 24/7 until that day, let's find a space so you can meet with me, talk to me, bounce ideas with me and Serena, so you can talk with Serena, you know.
Yeah.
Take your notes in terms of
one.
strategy when you bounce, like that final one. How do you think those concepts work? Bring back the concepts to us, and to me and Serena, so we can then evaluate it and tell you, oh, now these concepts are concepts. So maybe I would say do that the soonest you can get that by tomorrow. If you get to me that and Serena, you guys are gonna be cool in terms of that you can move forward and have enough time to execute stuff towards 1-2 concepts. You know what I mean? And you'll feel it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yep.
You know, it's like tell the story. Like I know it's a first stab at it. I love it. There's a lot of things here, but I can't just do the mental gymnastics with. It would be like a rave class from here till next class. But
Thank you. But
I'm
we'll meet
down,
with you
but
before
stay-
next Wednesday
No,
for
but
sure.
please do stay and keep working together as a team. So at least the concept portion, we can talk about it tonight if you want later tonight. Cool? Please.
Thank you
That's
so much.
Just for you, so it's
Yeah.
like for the evaluation, I can have something that is like, you know, it's like, oh, they only showed me like just executions. No, I don't wanna, you know what I mean? For, at least for you guys, and you work on that storytelling portion, so it helps them not comes across as, oh, it's a different strategy. You know what I mean? This one I like, the disruptive portion of it. It's like, you can report in the media agencies.
I'm sorry. So
Things.
we're getting graded on this this powwow.
All the round 1, 2, and 3 is evaluated. Of course, the round 3 is the big show.
In your
I'm not
other-
gonna give you round 1 the 100% of the grade.
In your other classes, our final grade came from our last presentation, and the rounds kind of were just like there. Is that going to be the same case?
Sorry?
in your previous class, the rounds, like we had them, but you didn't
Exactly.
grade us. It was
In
the
this-
end product.
Exactly. So
Okay.
this one is the end product. If you guys want to have, let's say that 45% or the 30% or the 60% that I always evaluate as a
Yeah.
progression, here is more about this final portion.
Yeah.
Because I know the planners were not maybe there for you guys, but I do want to grade you on this portion of it that for
Okay.
me is the people were like, oh, what's the real life component of it? This. It's like you have 24 hours to deliver in your creative things and shoot it, not only a concept. The concept, pick the best one, shoot it, put it, upload it, and that's it. Pencils down. Cool?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Keep